I think one of the things which made us look at the Westville Cowies Hill area was the fact that it was just very pretty when we moved in, and particularly Cowies Hill with its greenery and
Trees.
we also had trees and bird life. And I remember, well, we actually visited friends of my father's here, and they'd been in Cowies Hill for years. And then we heard about this house that was going up on auction from my young cousin who was at school with the child of the parents of this house. And we looked at the house, we came and looked at it. Do you remember how it was raining, a really rainy day?
I remember the mist.
And we parked our car outside. We had a little Beetle, and because all the cars here looked quite posh, the ones that were in the driveway, and we were scared our car wouldn't start. And we walked in to look at the house, and quite honestly, nobody took very much notice of us, did they? So we sort of saw the house, and then we really just loved it. I mean, I remember walking down the driveway, we looked at each other and thought, it was the best house that we'd seen after 18 months of serious looking. And we were lucky because the house came up on auction, and we were very lucky to have my uncle to advise us as to what to do. Do you remember how you felt, Warwick?
Petrified. Sitting at an auction, fortunately I'd been advised to get there early and go right to the back. So I was bidding against a person, and they were bidding against a voice, and came up, and I can't remember what the figures were, but when he said going one, going two, and we got it.
We waited till the very
and
last
you know, there were a couple of fellas who were trying to outbid each other, and eventually I waited for them to get down to one, and I waited for going one, and then I came in petrified. I squeaked up, you know, it wasn't anything else, and we took it. And then I think they had 2 weeks to get a better price, which we just had to match, which we did. And then we moved in on New Year's Eve. We were so tired, we had furniture, and I'd hired a truck to bring what we had out. And as we were going to sleep, we could just hear the parties from the neighbours going mad.
So just sitting here and looking at the house next door makes me remember the people, well, our first neighbours, I suppose, when we moved in. And we'd moved in with a very old car. We had a little Beetle that didn't always start, but we'd managed to get here. We'd moved our furniture, and I went next door to ask for the keys so that we could open the house. And the lady who was next door literally looked down her nose and said, "Where's your mother, dear?" So I had to say, well, your mother wasn't there. So she asked me again, and I had to say, well, I'm actually here to collect the keys. And eventually I had to say to her, well, actually, after she'd asked, and who are the owners? And I had to say, well, this is so-and-so. We are your new neighbours, and we bought the house next door. So of course it's only now looking back that I realise that she probably was a little bit surprised, because I didn't have shoes on, I was barefoot, I had shorts on. I had a t-shirt that I loved, which on the top had a lady walking her dog to the tree. It was a beautiful drawing, it was really lovely, and waist length hair and pigtails. So I suppose she didn't quite see that I was going to be her next door neighbour. But we've been really lucky with our neighbours, and they've been really wonderful. And in fact, the neighbourhood is just really so nice, and we've seen some of our friends' children come back and buy in the area. We've seen other neighbours who have had family buy in the same area. I think there are quite a few people who've got very deep roots in the area and have come back.
I'm happy, you know, if our kids moved in the neighbourhood as well.
And I think also that the security has improved. I think we're just very lucky to be here. I couldn't think of being anywhere else. I mean, it's where our children have been born, they've grown up. It's,
Or 45 years we've been here.
it's a long time.